Hi everybody, and welcome again to RTB, your Resilience Toolbox, a place where we get to share, learn, and grow together. So I'm very, very tough today to have Rachelle joining us. Rachelle is a young lady from Congo who is currently living in Cape Town. So hi, Rachelle.
Hi there, Nikki.
Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure for me to be here today. Thank you.
So I met Rachelle recently at a Toastmasters program, and Rachelle was the winner of the program that they conducted in their school. They had a showcase at the end, and she blew us all away with her powerful and important message that she had within her speech. And so I thought that we definitely need to have her on RTB so we can hear your learnings, your experiences and your learnings. So Rachelle, the speech that I heard you doing was called My Natural Hair Journey. So to start, I would love just to hear a little bit more about what you mean when you say natural hair, and what was this journey that you were on?
So, natural hair, when people hear that, they think, what can this be about? I mean, it's just hair. What's so significant about hair? But it's significant because it's about natural hair. It's about hair that was natural, but it's so difficult to return to. Because we all know that natural is the beginning of it all. So why was it so difficult to return back to natural? And that's how my journey started. My journey started with doubt. My journey started with people not believing in what I was doing. I started off my speech by saying that, yes, I had doubt in embarking in the natural hair journey because people say that natural hair was dirty. People say that natural hair came with so much work. And I believed them because that was my perspective at that time. I never thought that natural hair was beautiful or it was significant.
Is it common in your culture to move very quickly away from natural hair?
So many years ago, African people had natural hair. They knew no other way to do their hair. Until, as we know, change, the world changes, it evolves because change needs to be consistent. There was a thing about relaxing your hair. And in those times, if you didn't relax your hair, with your natural hair, you were known as a poor person. You were known as a person who don't have money to do anything else with your hair, just to have your hair at its natural state. So people implemented a thing about relaxing your hair by using products so it can look straight. Because obviously, when you watch TV, you want your children to be like, Mommy, why can't I have hair like that lady has hair? Why can't I also have straight hair? Why do I have like curly hair? Why? I also want to have straight hair. So their mindset as African people was that the only way you can have straight hair is by damaging it. It's by using products to make your hair straight. People never knew about straightening your hair or blow drying your hair because those were technology. Those were stuff that didn't yet come into place. So with relaxing your hair, it was a way of changing quickly so that you can look beautiful in a sense, because you don't want to be looking poor. You want to be thinking that people don't think you have the money to be changing your hair at a regular basis. And as I said before, natural hair was dirty to some people. So that's how you would be thought as poor. It also came with so much work. So why would you want to spend all that effort on hair when you could just relax it once or twice in a year and have it straight for the rest of your life? So that was the case about having straight hair in an African mindset.
So you decided at some stage that you no longer wanted to straighten your hair, to relax your hair. You actually wanted to go back to what it should be. So at what age were you when you decided that, and what made you make that decision?
I was 15 years of age when I decided to change that. And why I changed is that I'm not me if I'm not at my natural state. if I tell myself, if people keep telling me, you need to be unique, you need to be yourself, then everything of me has to be unique. It has to be at its natural state. I was born with natural hair. So why would I change to relaxed hair to please other people? I remember with me changing from relaxed to natural, when I had relaxed hair, they said it was beautiful, it was amazing, it was gorgeous, it was easy. And then when I changed to natural hair, it was like, what are you doing? It looks dirty. So I decided to do that because also natural hair was benefiting my hair so much more. I wasn't going to struggle with hair loss problems. And that's where people get it wrong. They think that if you have relaxed hair, yes, it's beautiful, but in the long run, it will break, it will damage. So I thought, yes, I need to be at my natural state, but also I need to think for myself. I need to think, how will this benefit my life? If I keep relaxing my hair, I'll have hair loss problems. Why would I do that to myself? So I decided that yes, it's a huge decision to transition from relaxed to natural hair, but I was doing it for me. I was doing it so that I can be unique, so that I can be, Rachelle, you know what? This is you. This is really you. This is how I was born to be natural. So that's why I decided to transition from relaxed to natural hair.
It sounds like that must have been quite conflicting, because on one hand you were saying, you know, you're wanting to be unique, and often people say that, as you were saying as well, be yourself, and at the same time saying, don't go natural, but be yourself, be unique, but don't go natural. I mean, how are you as a 15-year-old hearing these messages? That must have been quite confusing for you.
It was confusing. Like, you keep telling yourself that what I'm doing is right. Like, going from relaxed to natural hair, it's the right thing to do. Why can't people get it? Why can't they see the benefits from it? But in doing something right, not everyone will look at it and think that's right. Being raised with a mindset that relaxed day is the way to go, that's how you're going to keep thinking that it's the way to go. So I feel like as I was young, it was easier for me to change than if I was older. Because if I was older, I had a mindset for 15 years that relaxed day was the best. Now imagine if I had that mindset for 30 years, for 40 years, how am I supposed to change?
What do you think the reasons were for people not really accepting it? Like who was resisting this idea, and what do you think the real reasons were for them doing that?
So when I started this journey, I obviously spoke to my parents because they were going to be the ones to help me through it all, financially speaking, especially. They were going to be the one to give me advices. So I had to speak to them, and they asked me so many times, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Now, in my speech, I said that I decided to return natural on the 9th of October, but that's not where it all started. That was just a decision that I made, but it wasn't me actually transitioning from relaxed to natural hair. I still had to, on the 9th of October, I had to speak to my parents. I decided that, but I didn't yet inform them. I had to speak to my parents, let them know. They told me, are you sure? Do you really want to do this? Are you ready for people to tell you that this is dirty? Are you ready for people to tell you that this is not the right way to go? And I thought, they're supposed to be on my side. But they helped me. They helped me financially. They bought the products that I needed so that I could start this journey. Okay, that was a tick. Now moving on to the person that makes my hair. I would go to the salon and they knew me that every December I would come relax my hair and blow my hair. Now this December, I'm not coming to blow my hair. I'm not coming to relax my hair. I'm coming to make my hair with my natural hair. And they're telling me, why are you doing this? This is ugly. What am I supposed to do? It's so difficult for me to plait your hair. It's my arms are sore. Can't I just blow it? I couldn't blow it. It was the beginning of me transitioning. If I blew it, then what was the point? People at church will tell me, what's going on with your hair? Oh my, is it damaged? Is it damaged? And I'm like, no, it's not damaged. I'm going back. Why? Why, Rachelle? Why are you going back? It's ugly. We don't want that. You better do something with your hair. and I had to look appropriate for people. I had to, change some of my hairstyles. I also put in my speech that sometimes I'll get so frustrated trying to make the hairstyles that I did on my relaxer, my natural hair, and I failed so much. There was so much doubt. There was so much people telling me that don't do this, but I knew in my head that this was the right way to go. But if you are going to war and you are the only person who's thinking what you're doing is right, and the people that are supposed to be there to protect you are not having the same mindset, then it's obvious that you're going to lose before even the war started. And that's how I felt in the beginning of my natural hair journey. It was tough, but I made it at the end.
That's quite a comparison, isn't it? It's like a war. It's like going into war without the support system. And I can see that. So some people, it seems like, as you're saying, your parents, they're trying to protect you, protect you from what's going to be a tough journey, and a tough journey knowing the way that people are going to react. So people don't like change. I mean, it sounds like people who then society around you, from a close distance from your parents to then the hairdresser to people at your church, all of those levels coming with their own perceptions and putting that towards you. How did you keep going? What was in your mind? What was helping you? What was making you continue?
I'm not only doing this for myself. I'm doing this because later on, this is going to be a story that I'm going to tell people that I meet. I had a mindset. I had a goal. And my goal was that at the end of the day, I'm going to transition my hair from relaxed to natural hair, whether it's going to take long, whether it's going to take people doubting me, whether it's going to take people at the salon not wanting to do my hair. The end goal is that my hair was going to be natural, period. As I was younger, I loved hair. Let it be relaxed, any type of hair. I used to have dolls. When people taught me how to plait hair, I'll be so interested. I'll be, wow, this is amazing. Look at the things I can do with hair. So when I was younger, I didn't know natural hair. I knew that I can have long, relaxed hair and I can do so many things with my hair. And the TV was almost like, like a pressure setter. Like I would look at how some people will do the hair with their own, they do styles with their own hair. And I feel like when my hair reaches that level one day, I can be able to do that. I'll be able to do that. So then with natural hair, it was the same. I love hair. I'm passionate about speaking. I'm passionate about hair. I'm passionate about speaking about it. So when I look at natural hair, I think I was younger. I also wanted long hair. So what's going to stop me from having long hair with natural hair? Because natural hair, it's said to be hard and it's said to be always at a short length. So I thought, if I want to keep my hair healthy, natural, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to do the hairstyles that I saw on TV also on my natural hair. So I kept that in mind because I love hair. I wanted my hair to be long. I wanted to show them that my hair can also be long, though it's at its natural state. So that's what I wanted to show the community.
And you also say that another thing, you were thinking about the others in your community who didn't have the guts, as you say, to make these changes. Have you seen how has your behavior influenced any of the others now?
It has showed them that if you want to do something right, believe in yourself, you can do it. It showed them that it's obvious that life has different challenges. Life doesn't have a manual. Life has no perfect pathway. But if you want something that you desire, sometimes you need to make the sacrifices. I know that in my community, there's so many Africans that are raised that you need to obey your parents, and sometimes your opinion doesn't matter. So when they saw me doing something that they also wanted to do, they thought, maybe I can also do it. Over this past 2 years, I've seen more than 15 girls in my community who have transition from relaxed to natural hair just with what I was doing. They come to me for advice like, what can I do? What products can I do? Oh, I see my hair's getting dry. What can I do? Because they saw me with that, they saw me when my hair was short. They saw me when half of my hair was relaxed and half of my hair was natural. Now they see the end product. Now they could believe that, yes, I can do this. I can, because Rachel can do it. That means I can do it. And it will be easier to convince their parents because their parents saw me when I was doing this journey. They saw how actually turn as beautiful as the end product. So they knew that because she did it, I can also do it. And that was my aim in going through the journey.
Having that example to follow is, yeah, very, very helpful. It's very easy, much easier to convince people when you have the image right there. It's much more difficult what you did, sort of the trendsetter, the change maker, when it's something that goes against what society expects of you and wants for you. I'm thinking it's not very easy to tackle people who are labeling you, who are naysaying you all the time. You can't, you shouldn't, it's not what you are, it's not. I'm not sure if you had people treating you particularly badly during that time, but what else helped you get through that?
I also keep this quote in mind that try and fail, but never fail to try. I had to keep trying. If it meant for me to cry in front of them to show them that I'm tired, if it meant for me to keep pushing, if it meant for me to fall in front of them so that they can see the end product, I had to try and fail, but never fail to try. I kept looking up to the Almighty because I kept thinking that He hasn't brought me so far just to leave me. In the Bible, it says that every human being has a purpose. So I kept putting that in mind. If I had to die today, what would people think of me? What would people say about me? What would they say? What did I do to influence others? Because I'm sure I had a purpose. I didn't come here just so that I can be a being. No, I came here because I have a purpose. I have a role to play. So I kept putting that in mind that God put me here for a reason. And that reason could either be people seeing my life or my natural hair journey through the lens and being like, because she did that, I was able to do that also. And as I say again and again, mindset. If you have a mindset to do something good for yourself that can also benefit others, the end product will be amazing. The end product will be beautiful. Because if we help each other, that's how we can empower each other to do certain things in life.
So what was your greatest learning through this journey about yourself?
I learned that being myself is very important. And thinking about myself is also very important. That's the most courageous act that I learned. Because sometimes we want to do stuff in life, but we want to do stuff to please others. When I learned in myself that I'm not here to impress, but I'm here to impact, that's when I realized that I'm doing something great. Because I know that when I was younger, I had so many role models. I would look at certain people and think, wow, but if I can't look at myself like that, then what am I doing? I need to learn that sometimes you need to think for yourself so that you can also be happy and satisfied with what you are doing.
Beautiful. And yes, absolutely. You know, we all need to think about ourselves, but we do have our systems and societies around us. So what would be your message to parents and other adults out there when young people are coming to them with something that they are thinking, this isn't quite right? What's your message?
Sometimes you should listen and try to understand, because Yes, we all going through our different journeys, but you need to understand that maybe your child or maybe you as a teenager, you are here to impact. You need to keep that in mind. You need to remember that if you want to do something, don't do it because other people are forcing you to do it. No, you need to think about yourself and think, why am I doing this? And if I'm doing this, what good is going to come out of this? Because your parents won't reject you just because they want to reject you. Your parents won't reject you, won't reject your proposal just because they want to do that. No. As parents, they want to try to understand, they want to find out what's best for you. But you need to make sure that you let them know that this is best for me, because your parents, they already had their experiences. They had the experiences that they could tell you. So what is your experience? Your time to shine will come, and you need to keep that in mind. So if you want to do something in life, if you want to achieve something in life, you need to firstly get advice from elderly people because they know best. But don't let the elderly people stop you from what you feel is going to benefit your life. If you're taking the risk, it's amazing. Allow for yourself to fail. Allow for yourself to fail. Allow for yourself to fall forward and not backwards when you are doing something or taking a risk, because that's what we all hear. Fall back onto something. If you're going to do something, you better have something to fall back on. No, fall forward. Continue with that journey. Continue failing. Continue doing that, because your failure won't be the end of it. You might think in your head as a teenager, my failures are more than my success. But that's a stage. Life has two stages, blessings and battles. You need to be ready for both. So do what you feel best for yourself. Have that courageous act. Sometimes think about yourself when you're doing something that, want to make you happy.
Have you heard of Chimamanda Adichie?
No.
I suggest you or the listeners can go and listen to her on doing a TEDx talk. She's a Nigerian author, and she's got a story that she talks about on TEDx called The Dangers of a Single Story. And it's very much in line with what you're talking about as well, is that, there isn't one single story about an individual or a community or a culture, and breaking out and not being with the stereotypes and not being influenced in that way is important, because we've all got more than a single story to us. If I can ask you to pull out your three top tools that you think helped you through this, that you would like to share with the listeners, you can just list them.
The three resilient tools that I learned in this journey is that number one, you need to be objective. Why objective? Because sometimes you need to let loose of the emotions. If you let the emotions run by you or take over whatever you're doing, you're not going to accomplish what you are aiming to do. So if I let emotions come my way, if I took what people said to heart by telling me that my hair is ugly, I don't think I would have made it. I think I would go back to relaxed hair. Another resilient tool is that you need to have a mindset. You can't just wake up in the morning and think, I'm going to tackle this challenge, and then the next day you're giving up because you don't know you don't know why you're doing this. You don't know why am I? So you need to have a mindset. The third one is that you need to have acknowledging stories. Sometimes you need to acknowledge the stories that people tell you, because the next story that people are going to be acknowledging is yours. So acknowledge other people's stories, learn from their experience, learn and try to take in what you can take so it can maybe benefit your life. Those are the three top resilient tools that I've learned in this journey: having a mindset, being objective, and acknowledge stories.
Rachelle, this has been really, really great. I am very happy that you managed to join us, and I am ecstatic that you went through this journey, because it shows your strength of character, and I think it's also exposed the leader that is in you. You are a change maker, a trend setter, and I think your courage will absolutely help many, many other people out there. So I hope you feel really good about yourself for what you've experienced and for what you've shared with us today. And to the listeners, thank you for joining. And once again, there was a lot in Rachelle's, in our discussion. So listen to it again and pick up the things that you think might work for you. And remember that tools, if they're not used, they go rusty. So keep them by you at all times, use them, and grow with them. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.